الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وأفضل بريته سيدنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. السلام عليكم. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are tonight sure that the moon has sighted in many parts of the world, on whom we can rely. And therefore tonight is the night of Ramadan, and tomorrow will be inshallah the first of Ramadan al-Mubarak of this year. May Allah make this particular month Mubarak for all of us and accept our ibadat and our acts of worship. Before I proceed with the masail of fiqh which are related to fasting, what I have observed is that we have still not, very many of us have still not made the niyat of taqleed. Many are still lost, although there is no reason for getting lost. You have got to ask and you will be told, and you have asked and you have been told. And yet there is so much of confusion which is for nothing. Any amal without taqleed is batil. If you do not have taqleed, how will you know whether the masail that you follow or the way that you practice is according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do or not? So you've got to select a mujtahid, and after the passing away of Ayatullah Gul Payagani, two names were given to us. One was Ayatullah al-Uzama, Sheikh Muhammad Ali Araki, who is in Qom. And the second name was of Ayatullah al-Uzama, Sayyid Ali Sistani, who is in Najaf. And in the circular that I issued, I have made it very clear that I personally have made, after the investigations which satisfied me, the niyat of Ayatullah al-Uzama Sayyid Ali Sistani as the marja' who is in Najaf. Because I found out on my part that the consensus behind this personality was global, and ulama from all over had supported him. Not because he was seeking the votes, but because he has been acknowledged as a man of caliber and capacity. Now, if you want to do taqleed, you can do taqleed of Ayatullah Araki. We have no problem. There is no shop here that would like to compete. But do some taqleed, do some niyat. Without it, your a'mal will be batil, my friends, my sisters and my brothers. If you have not, then make a niyat tonight that you are now in taqleed of Ayatullah Sayyid Ali Sistani, the majority of it, so that the a'mal and the books of Amaliya and Masail, which will soon be ready in English, but they are already there in Arabic and Farsi for those who can refer to them. You start your Masail. The first thing, because it is the first night, I will first relate the Masail which are of utmost and immediate importance. And that is, tonight all of us will make the niyat for fasting in the month of Ramadan al-Mubarak. Now in niyyah, you can make the niyyah for the whole month tonight. That means you just make a niyyah that inshallah ta'ala I'll be fasting this month. What is important, my friends, is not to say even that I'm fasting for the month of Ramadan. That is understood. What is important in this niyat is that it is qurbatan ilallahi ta'ala. What I am doing, is it for the pleasure and for nearness or in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. There is no question of saying that doctors have advised me to be on diet, therefore I am fasting. Or because I want to keep better health, therefore that's why I am fasting. All such things which go against qurbatan ilallah will make fast batil. Yes, if somebody knows that it is qurbatan ilallah, I am fasting for the sake of obedience to Allah. Now, together with qurbatan ilallah, inshallah I'll keep better health. That is secondary, that does not invalidate fast. But if somebody says I am fasting only because of my health reasons, then of course that is not a fast. Qurbatan ilallah. Now, there are two ways of niyyah. One is positive and one is in a negative way. Both are allowed. Positive way is to say in your mind that inshallah ta'ala from tonight I'll be fasting qurbatan ilallah. This is positive. But there's another way of making a niyyah. Inshallah ta'ala from tomorrow I shall not be committing anything which will break the fast. Qurbatan ilallah, even that is alright. You don't need to say or to shout. It has got to be in your mind. Niyyah is awareness and consciousness. Okay. If anybody asks you tomorrow at about 11 o'clock in the morning where temper is high, as to what are you doing, you should be able to tell him I am fasting. Or if he asks you, which fast is this? You should be able to immediately answer, this is month of Ramadhan. That is the meaning of consciousness. Now there are 9 things which will invalidate or make your roza batil, which we will discuss later on. But what I am going to say tonight is very important. When will you stop eating? That is the problem everyone faces. Now trying to make the best of it, even as say tonight, tomorrow morning if we are told that namaz time will be at about 6:57, let us say. 5:57. Namaz time. Namaz subuh's time. At about, say 5:57, 58. Now that is the time of subh sadiq. That is namaz subuh's time has entered. Ayatullah Sistani, just as all the other ulama has said, that it is always better to stop eating before that. Before that. Not up to the last minute. We are not trying to take any revenge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That because you have put this fast on us, therefore we will show you by eating up to the last second. As I said today in the Dhuhr when I was in Najaf Ashraf, I remember people used to light their cigarettes and look at the minaret of the haram, because there the muazzin will go and say Allahu Akbar. So there you'll find people smoking, and when only a little of a cigarette is left, you find them. Before that man says Allahu Akbar, he wants to finish that cigarette. There is one who does not smoke, but he is there with his glass of water. And the moment he sees that minaret now is already occupied, he drinks to say that this is the last one. This is not the way we deal. So what should we do is that we should allow some time, 15 to 20 minutes before the time of subh sadiq. We should stop eating. It doesn't mean that you can't. You can, but there is a danger of sometimes your watch being slow, or your timing, or you may misread the whole thing. At least I have one experience in my own life that I have prayed 1 hour before namaz subuh time, thinking that it was namaz subuh. It was not namaz subuh. To me it has happened that I looked at my watch, my own watch, and I read it. I just saw the time. The watch was all right, but I said that this is already namaz subuh when I prayed. And when I woke up, my family there told me that it is still 1 hour. You have prayed in advance. So I had to wait till the time set in. It can happen to anyone. Looking at it, and you may make a mistake. So we are told to stop eating. So 5:45, let us say, what Jamaat has issued as imsak. Imsak in Maha Ramadan means stopping the food, no more eating. Of course, namaz is subuh after 15 minutes, 18 minutes, you start. Similarly, Maghrib, Ayatullah Sistani says, after the sun set, you have to wait. And we do for 10 minutes. Some mu'mineen wait for even 15 minutes. No problem. Because what we are going to do, inshallah ta'ala, most of the time, not in this year, but what we have been doing, or tomorrow or day after on the weekend, and many other mu'mineen at other centers, they will pray first. Maghrib, Isha. So naturally, they will not break the fast by eating or anything. They will listen to adhan, stand for namaz of Maghrib, Isha, and then they will, after that, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it is mustahab to break your fast after Maghrib. After. Breakfast means what? You have the fast is already gone. With the setting of Maghrib, the fast is over. You don't take anything, water or dates or whatever, till you have prayed namaz Maghrib. But because we are praying Maghrib and Isha together, we can wait for 3 or 4. So this is what it is. The timing that we have given, I have to say it every year, but I have to say, the timing that we have calculated and given from this Jama'at of Stanmore, Hydari or Hujjat both, is the time which was verified by the ulama of London in my presence years ago. When I issued it for the first time, I calculated the timing. I brought so many mu'mineen here at night when the night sky was clear, after midnight, here in Stanmore. In the early hours of the morning, we saw how Subh Sadiq and Subh Kadhib, the false dawn and the true dawn, sets. I showed them here in this tent. Finally, the timetable was taken by the ulama in Majma', that is Majma' of Agha Gulpaigani, where so many were sitting there. They took our timetable and they compared with all the timetables that are circulating till today. And finally, in the next meeting when I was present, I was told in presence of all the ulama who were there, that your timetable is accurate, and in certain days there is a difference of a minute or a half. Based on that, I gave my timetable, which is there, printed. Now, there are so many timetables circulating around. If I want to get myself confused, then I keep all those timetables with me. And perhaps you will have no time after iftar for eating or drinking. If you read those timetables, then soon after iftar, there is no time left, because some of them believe that there is no question of Subh Sadiq Kadhib here. It starts from 11 o'clock. The morning is set, because the sun does not go down more than 12 degrees in this country. It is not like that. What you have been given, please follow it. And try to understand that people have worked and people have investigated and given with some confidence. No one will take the responsibility of your fasts on his shoulder unless he is sure that the timing that you have been given are correct. The timetable issued by us is exact and is correct. And not only that, but it was at that time supported by Ayatullah Al-Khuy also, on the principle that I had outlined to him. And not only that, but even Meteorological Department and Observatory of England wrote me a letter saying that we are surprised that Islam has that theory of determining Subh Sadiq. And it is applicable to most of the parts of the world except where days and night are equal. I mean, where days are for 6 months and nights are for 6 months, or where you have midnight sun, there of course it would not apply. So, there is no need to confuse yourselves and there is no need to confuse others. So the timetable that is in your hand is okay. Lastly, the month of Ramadan. From tonight and tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, and onwards, the lessons which were given by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to his chosen companions like Abu Dhar Ghifari and Salman Farsi are the lessons that we shall be dealing with. Why? Because when the month of Ramadan was approaching, first time, the famous khutbah of the Prophet is there, which we listen to every year. أيها الناس قد أقبل إليكم شهر الله الأكبر بالمغفرة والبركة والرحمة. The great month of Allah has approached and has come with the promise for forgiveness, barakah and mercy. The Prophet said this. And then he said, أنفاسكم فيه تسبيح. Your breathing in this month will be like tasbih. وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهِ عِبَادَةً. And your sleeping is also worshipping and ibadah. That means you have thawab even for sleeping in. Of course, not the time of namaz. Sleeping during daytime. That means it is better to sleep than to indulge in ghibah. وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهِ. And you are guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what he said. In this month you are his guests. When he finished, it is a very long khutbah, Imam Ali salawatullah salam alayhi stood up. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, what is the best amal in this month? What is the best amal? I mean, after having listened to the excellence and virtue of this month, what should we do most? And what is the best act that Allah would like? And the Prophet said, Ya Ali, al-wara' 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 an maharimillah. To save yourself, to ward off, to save yourself from the things which Allah has forbidden. That means not to commit any sin. My friends, the sum total of my life, including Muharram, Ramadan and everything else, is nothing but taqwa and wara. And we are very far away from that world in which we would like to enter in this month of Ramadan. Why? Because have you seen a metal which is full of layers of some foreign body on it? What have you got to do on that? You've got either to scratch it so that gradually the layer of dirt is either removed, or if you go to the goldsmith, olden days they used to have actually fire placed on that so that the dirt is burnt, because the degree required for heating and scorching off the dirt is lower than one required for heating the gold. So you find gold is clean totally. This is called kasoti. The month of Ramadan is a kasoti. Layers of dirt, materialism, thinking everything in this world is money, success, popularity, praise and admiration. That's it also. Comforts of the world. We are forgetting that there is another. Allama Iqbal used to say, सितारों के आगे जहां और भी है. Beyond the stars there is another world. Now what is the difference? If you have a small child at home, your son or your grandson or whatever, look at him and look at yourself. one day, your granddaughter, your grandson, and yourself, and compare the distance of his or her knowledge with your knowledge. How far is the child from what you know? How far? Very far. By the time the child will learn the alphabets, after the alphabets, it will learn the combinations. After learning the combinations, it will learn the language. After learning the language, it will learn the sciences and how the terminologies are applied. By the time everything is learned, it is a great distance. The same distance is between us and the new world of ruhaniyat and spiritualism. Allahu Akbar. Within me, there are two forces fighting. One is telling me, do this, another is telling me, don't. Inna nafsa la ammaratum bisu illa man rahim. That nafs of mine is telling me to do things, and I will do it unless Allah saves me from doing it. How? I'm talking. As I speak, I know this is haram. Huh? I know this is haram. Nafs tells me, say. Something within tells me, don't. And there is a listening. Nafs tells me, listen to this, which is haram to listen. Something within me tells me, don't. Listening to music is haram. Whether you are in Ramadan or you are. Listening to music of any form is haram. Don't be misled by the new version of Sunnati music. There is no Sunnati music. It is haram. And when music is transferred into Nauha and Marsiya, then it becomes more haram. And it becomes more abominable. When any tune or any tone of a Marsiya reminds me of a song or a film song, then that is haram, not jais. Listening to it is haram. Qawali is not jais. But something within me tells me, do it. In this month of Ramadan, we have got 5 inlets into us: eyes, ears, noses, mouth, the touch. Let us save this from haram, including, if possible, well, I know I am saying if possible, had I my own way, I would have put it by compulsory order, but we don't have that. We would have seen that the television set in every house is closed. During daytime, you are watching TV, kambakht. If you are tired, sleep. Otherwise, read Quran Majid, read Masail, read books of religion, to go closer. And in this month, I will give a glimpse into how we can go closer and closer to Allah, without losing our lives in this world. We will be different people altogether, lesson by lesson, how we can change our lives and live usefully and purpose. Never be misled to think that a man who becomes abid or parhezgar or muttaqi becomes a useless man. No, because many people think that he becomes a mullah of the mosque. He cannot do anything. No, a man who becomes abid, parhezgar, muttaqi is a powerful force on earth. From people like them are born Jamaluddin Afghani, Abul Hasan Isfahani, Sayyid Hussain Burujardi, Sayyid Muhsin al-Hakim, and Ayatollah Khomeini. From these people, who can change the world. If I cannot change the world, at least I can change myself and my household and my community and my people. It's a new world which will enter. It will not be a world of practical knowledge where Mullah Sahib Amadi ketla paisa avse. No. It's not the world of that. It is the world of acquisition, acquiring that knowledge which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us in the month of Ramadan. I must think, today I am 57. From the time I became baligh till today, I have had 42 Ramadan. How many? 42. And till I die, I don't know, some extra Ramadan. 42 opportunities of changing my life. 42 opportunities of bringing a new turn in my life. It was a very big opportunity. And if after the month of Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala, Allah in His mercy allows us to change our lives, inshallah ta'ala, a lot will be achieved. And we pray that Allah may give us tawfiq in the month of Ramadan. Wassalamu alaikum.